Shadows of a new planet. A distant planet lay hidden in the uncharted quadrants of the galaxy, bathed in the eerie glow of twin suns. Its surface was rugged, rocky, and seemingly lifeless, but beneath the jagged terrain, a monstrous alien hive was taking shape. Dark, angular towers of pulsating metal stretched skyward, energy conduits glowing crimson with ominous life. The aliens were not here to explore. They were constructing a weaponized fortress, a production line capable of creating armies designed to annihilate entire civilizations. Far across space, on Earth, alerts pinged across Stark Industries' satellite network. Tony Stark's eyes narrowed at the glowing anomalies on his holographic display. "This isn't just a mining operation," he muttered. "They're building something massive, something deadly." Meanwhile, Superman felt strange energy fluctuations through the cosmos, his eyes narrowing with concern. "There's a hive forming," he said, voice steady but tense. "If it's completed, entire worlds could be at risk. We need to act fast." Hank Pym's Ant-Man, alerted through a newly designed cosmic tracking device, joined them in the mission. "This isn't your average alien base," he warned. "They're constructing weapons designed to wipe out life on any planet. We can't let them finish." The trio approached the alien planet cautiously. From orbit, the hive sprawled across a vast plain, towers bristling with alien machinery, glowing red energy lines pulsating like veins. Autonomous drones patrolled the perimeter, scanning for intruders. The hive seemed almost alive, feeding off the planet's core energy. Superman's eyes glowed as he scanned the structure. "They've designed defenses we've never seen. Every moment we delay, it becomes harder to destroy." Iron Man adjusted his suit's thrusters, ready for battle. "We strike fast, we strike hard. Ant-Man, you infiltrate and sabotage their systems. Superman and I handle the external defenses. Failure is not an option." As the heroes descended toward the alien hive, the shadow of the new planet loomed, a stark reminder that the fate of countless civilizations rested in their hands. Infiltrating the hive. The alien hive sprawled like a metallic labyrinth across the planet's surface, pulsating with ominous energy. From orbit, the heroes observed the fortress bristling with defense systems. Energy turrets, scanning drones, and glowing force fields that snaked across corridors like living veins. Time was critical. Every second the hive operated brought the aliens closer to completing their planet-destroying weapon. Superman hovered silently, eyes glowing as he scanned the hive's defenses. "The drone's patrol patterns are synchronized with the energy nodes," he said. "We'll need precision timing to avoid detection." Iron Man adjusted his HUD, running simulations of potential breach points. "I can jam their sensors long enough for Ant-Man to sneak in. Once he's inside, he can sabotage the core systems and shut this place down from within." Ant-Man, now shrunk to microscopic size, nodded, determination in his eyes. "Got it. I'll disrupt their energy matrix and create a chain reaction that overloads the hive's power network. But I'll need cover until I reach the core." With synchronized precision, the heroes made their move. Iron Man flew low, blasting a series of energy nodes to create temporary blind spots. Hulk smashed through the outer defenses, scattering alien patrols in a torrent of raw power. Superman darted across the sky, intercepting drone strikes and shielding Ant-Man from lethal laser beams. Inside the hive, Ant-Man navigated through twisting corridors, shrinking and enlarging as necessary to bypass traps and surveillance. Sparks erupted from overloaded circuits as he planted disruption devices, each pulse weakening the hive's structural integrity. The alien defenders scrambled, their armor gleaming with energy, but Ant-Man's ingenuity kept him steps ahead. Outside, the battle raged on. Hulk tore through energy barriers while Iron Man redirected power surges to destabilize the hive's outer shell. Superman's speed and strength allowed him to dismantle defenses and create a path toward the core chamber where the hive's weapon pulsed ominously. As Ant-Man reached the central core, he planted the final device. A cascade of sparks and energy ripples surged through the hive. The aliens screamed in panic as their fortress began to falter. The heroes exchanged determined glances. The infiltration had succeeded, but the hive's destruction was only the beginning. A final showdown with the alien commander loomed, and the stakes had never been higher. The hive core battle. The heart of the alien hive pulsed with an ominous red glow, illuminating the cavernous chamber like a twisted cathedral of technology. Energy conduits snaked across the walls, pulsating rhythmically as if the hive itself were alive, feeding on the planet's core energy. In the center, a colossal weapon thrummed, its surface etched with alien glyphs and radiating a dangerous power that could annihilate entire planets. Superman hovered near the entrance, his eyes scanning for traps. "This is it," he said. "The core. We have to disable that weapon before it activates." Iron Man adjusted his suit's thrusters and scanned the chamber. Sensors are off the charts. Any direct attack could trigger a chain reaction. We'll need precision strikes combined with brute force. Hulk flexed his massive arms, letting out a low growl. "Time for smashing," he said, ready to clear a path through any alien defenders who dared approach. The chamber's doors slid open, revealing a wave of alien soldiers, sleek and armored, wielding energy spears and plasma rifles. Sparks flew as Hulk lunged forward, tearing through the first wave with a torrent of raw strength, his fists sending aliens crashing into the walls. Iron Man unleashed a series of targeted repulsor blasts, destabilizing the energy nodes that powered the chamber's defense systems. Superman darted through the air, intercepting high-speed energy projectiles and using his heat vision to melt barriers, carving a path for Ant-Man, who had infiltrated the core's internal conduits. Shrinking down, Ant-Man navigated through the labyrinthine wiring, placing disruption devices at critical points to destabilize the weapon's energy matrix. Each pulse from his devices sent ripples through the chamber, weakening the core's defenses. The alien commander emerged, a towering figure bristling with energy armor, eyes glowing like molten cores. "You dare enter my sanctuary?" it hissed, swinging a massive energy staff that sent shockwaves across the chamber. Hulk met the force head-on, absorbing the shock with brute strength, while Superman deflected incoming blasts and Iron Man fired concentrated beams at the commander's armor. Ant-Man reached the final conduit, planting the main disruption device with trembling precision. Sparks erupted as the hive systems began to overload. The commander roared in fury, swinging the staff to send a wave of energy toward the heroes. Superman intercepted it, using his body as a shield to protect Ant-Man, while Hulk hurled debris at the commander, momentarily stunning it. Iron Man fired a high-energy pulse directly into the core's power nodes, amplifying Ant-Man's disruption. The chamber convulsed violently, energy beams arcing wildly, sparks flying in every direction. Panels exploded, and the floor trembled beneath their feet. The commander, enraged and vulnerable, unleashed a final desperate attack, sending an energy shockwave that hurled the heroes across the chamber. But through combined resilience, quick thinking, and sheer determination, they pressed on. Ant-Man triggered the final pulse. A cascade of energy rippled outward, destabilizing the weapon and causing the core to implode. The alien commander screamed as its energy armor overloaded and shattered. Hulk smashed the last wave of alien defenders, Iron Man redirected failing power surges away from the heroes, and Superman used his strength to stabilize the collapsing chamber long enough for them to escape. As they burst from the hive, the fortress itself convulsed, metal twisting and energy arcs exploding into the air. The planet shook violently, evidence of the hive's destruction and the failure of the alien weapon. The heroes hovered above the wreckage, battered but victorious, watching as sparks and debris floated into the void of space. Superman looked at the devastated core and exhaled. "It's done. The weapon is neutralized. The planet is safe for now." Iron Man checked his suit, sparks still flying from minor system failures. "We made it. Not without scars, but we made it." Hulk let out a triumphant roar, raising his fists toward the sky. "We smashed good." Ant-Man, now enlarged and covered in grime, smiled faintly. And disrupted everything. Teamwork saved the day. The alien commander, reduced to a flickering shadow of energy, retreated into the depths of the galaxy, vowing revenge, but for now, the Hive was destroyed. The heroes had once again proven that courage, strategy, and the unbreakable human spirit could overcome even the most formidable threats in the cosmos. Above the shattered Hive, the planet began to stabilize. Sparks of alien energy dissipated into the atmosphere, and the heroes exchanged glances, knowing their battle had been won, but the galaxy would always demand vigilance. Together, Superman, Iron Man, Hulk, and Ant-Man soared into the void, ready to face whatever cosmic threat awaited next. The Hive was destroyed, the weapon neutralized, and life in the galaxy spared from annihilation. Their mission was a testament to courage, teamwork, and the unyielding will to protect those who could not protect themselves. Aftermath of the core. The alien hive collapsed behind them like a dying star, its crimson glow sputtering into darkness as fragments of twisted metal and debris scattered into the barren skies. The once imposing fortress, a monument to the aliens' destructive ambition, was reduced to rubble, smoke curling upward like ghostly tendrils. The ground trembled with aftershocks, sending fissures across the planet's surface. Hovering above the wreckage, the heroes took a moment to breathe. They were battered, bruised, and drained, but alive. The weapon that could have consumed entire worlds was gone. Yet the silence that followed carried its own weight, a reminder that victories in war rarely came without cost. Superman's cape fluttered in the harsh winds, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the devastation. "We stopped the weapon," he said, his tone calm but heavy with reflection. But the Hive wasn't just a weapon. It was part of something bigger. This planet was a staging ground. Iron Man, sparks still flickering across his damaged armor, landed nearby. His HUD displayed warnings in red across his visor, but he forced a smirk. "Yeah, you're right, Boy Scout. That was only their base of operations. And judging by the scale of this, they're not planning to stop here." Hulk emerged from the dust clouds, his green skin marred with scorch marks and cuts. He looked back at the ruins and grunted. Hive smashed. Hulk happy. But Hulk feels more coming. His instinct was rarely wrong, and the others exchanged uneasy glances. Ant-Man stumbled out of the haze, brushing dust from his suit. He looked exhausted, his face pale from the strain of navigating the Hive's hostile labyrinth. "I planted every disruption device, blew the core, and still, the energy wasn't just coming from the Hive. It was being fed from somewhere deeper, maybe underground or even from orbit. I don't think we've seen the full scope yet." As if on cue, the shattered remains of the alien commander's energy staff pulsed faintly, releasing one last surge of dark power before crumbling to ash. Superman knelt beside the fragments, examining them closely. "Their technology is more advanced than we thought. If they were able to build this weapon here, they may already have others hidden across the galaxy." The silence of the battlefield was broken by a low rumble. Beneath the rubble, faint pulses of alien energy flickered like dying embers, sending vibrations through the planet's crust. Iron Man frowned, raising his arm scanners. "Ow. My readings show residual energy levels spiking again. Not enough to rebuild the weapon, but enough to signal across the stars. Somebody out there knows what just happened." Superman stood tall, the glow fading from his eyes. "Then they know we're here. And they'll come." The heroes gathered on a rocky ridge overlooking the ruins. For the first time since the battle began, they allowed themselves to feel the weight of what they'd endured. Ant-Man sat down, leaning against a boulder, breathing heavily. "I almost didn't make it out. That hive felt alive, like it knew every step I took. I don't even want to imagine what their next move will look like." Hulk crossed his arms, silent for a moment before muttering, "We fight harder." Iron Man removed his helmet, sweat dripping down his forehead, his expression unusually serious. "He's right. We've won a battle, not the war. If their tech can pull power from a planet's core, imagine what they could do on Earth or any other world. We can't wait for them to bring the fight. We have to take it to them." Superman nodded. "Agreed. We've bought time. We saved billions of lives by destroying this weapon. But time is all we've earned. The real fight is ahead." A silence settled over the group, broken only by the sound of the wind sweeping across the barren landscape. The hive's ruins crackled with fading energy, a grim reminder of the danger that still lingered. Above them, the stars shimmered coldly, vast and endless. Somewhere out there, the aliens were regrouping, perhaps already plotting their revenge. Ant-Man stood, his fatigue replaced by quiet resolve. "Then we stick together. We've seen what they're capable of, but we've also seen what we can do as a team. We fight smarter, stronger, and together." The others nodded, their bond strengthened by the crucible of the hive. They knew the path forward would be harder, the battles fiercer, but they also knew they couldn't face it alone. As the heroes prepared to depart the ruined planet, Superman cast one final look at the shattered hive. The once menacing fortress now lay silent, its threat extinguished, for now. "We've won this day," he murmured, almost to himself, "but the war for tomorrow has already begun." The four heroes lifted off, silhouettes against the broken sky. Their figures rose toward the stars, toward the unknown battles that awaited. The aftermath of the core was not just destruction, it was a warning, a promise of trials to come. And together they would be ready. The next horizon. The planet was eerily quiet. Where once the alien hive had thrummed with unnatural energy, only the crackle of dying flames and the shifting of broken structures remained. The night sky above stretched wide, filled with stars and the faint glow of nebulae, reminding them that the universe was vast, and that battles like this were far from over. Superman floated above the ruins, his cape torn, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the horizon with both vision and instinct. The destruction they had wrought was necessary, yet it came with a sobering weight. He could still hear the faint echoes of the hive's collapse, as though the planet itself mourned. Iron Man stumbled forward, his armor dented and smoking, servos grinding with every step. Removing his helmet, Tony Stark let the cold air brush against his sweat-soaked face. "Well," he muttered, voice dry with exhaustion, "that was one hell of a demolition job. I'm going to need at least 3 lifetimes of R&D to pay for the repairs." Ant-Man, still catching his breath, gave him a weary grin. "At least you've got the budget for it. I just shrank to the size of an atom and fought aliens bigger than skyscrapers. My therapist is going to have a field day." Hulk growled, smashing a chunk of glowing rubble underfoot. "Aliens strong. Hive strong. But not stronger than Hulk." Yet even his gruff declaration carried less triumph than usual. His green form was coated in ash and bruises, a rare testament to the scale of the battle. The four heroes gathered at the edge of a massive fissure where the hive core had once pulsed. The glowing shards of alien tech continued to hum faintly, like the last breath of a dying beast. Ant-Man crouched near it, studying the fragments. This wasn't just a weapon. It was a factory. A living factory. If they'd finished it, Earth wouldn't have stood a chance. Superman nodded grimly. "Which means they will try again. This was only one fortress, one hive." His gaze shifted upward to the endless night sky. Somewhere out there, more are waiting. Silence hung heavy between them. Each man felt the weight of what remained unspoken. Victory today, but uncertainty tomorrow. The battle had been won, but the war was still scattered across the stars. Tony broke the silence first, his voice low but determined. "If there's more of these hives out there, we'll need to be ready. No more playing catch-up. Next time, we take the fight to them." "Agreed," said Superman. "But we need to be smart. Charging in blindly will only cost lives. We need to learn, adapt. Hulk cracked his knuckles, staring at the shattered ruins. Then Hulk smash smarter next time. Ant-Man chuckled despite his fatigue. That's terrifying, but oddly reassuring. The humor, though brief, lightened the air just enough. Together, they turned back toward the horizon, where the stars burned like countless eyes watching from afar. The faint glow of dawn began to rise over the alien world's jagged terrain, casting long shadows that stretched toward them. Superman's voice carried the calm strength of a leader. Every horizon hides a challenge, but also a chance. We've stopped one threat, but now we know what's out there. The next time they come, we won't just defend Earth, we'll defend every world they try to enslave. Tony placed his helmet back on, the faceplate sliding into place with a metallic hiss. Guess we just became the universe's very expensive exterminators. Someone better start printing posters. Ant-Man smirked. And I'm going to need a bigger suit. Hulk only grunted, but the faintest of smiles tugged at his lips. As the sun's light grew stronger, breaking through the smoke and shadows, the four heroes stood together, battered but unbroken. The wreckage of the hive behind them was a testament to what they had survived, and a warning to those who would come next. For a brief moment, the silence was not heavy but peaceful. They had earned it. Yet each of them knew that beyond this planet, beyond this system, other horizons awaited, some darker, some brighter, but all filled with battles that demanded courage. Superman rose higher into the sky, scanning the stars once more. "This is only the beginning," he said softly, almost to himself. And together, with strength forged in fire and unity, they prepared for the unknown. The void ahead was vast, but so too was their resolve. On the next horizon, whatever it brought, they would be ready.